you're ready.
We're ready. Thank you. Good evening and welcome to the Town of Douglas Conservation Commission meeting of June 2nd, 2025. This meeting is being recorded and broadcast by local access programming and with remote participation available as provided on our agenda. Is there anyone here recording tonight's meeting? Only the cable network. I hereby call the meeting to order at 6:38 p.m. Roll call for members, please.
Jim Foran.
Brendan Doyle.
Kate Thompson.
Mike Greco.
Josiah Birch.
And Mark Mungem. Meeting is now open. First on the agenda, reorganization. You're going to help us with that?
Yeah, so you need to take a vote for the nomination for chair, and then you can nominate and then second it, and then you do a roll call vote, and then you'll take a vote for a vice chair, and nominate, second it, roll call, vote. So whoever wants to initiate that for the chair, you can start with that.
Sure. I'll make a nomination for Mark for chair.
Second. And then you can do a roll call.
Roll call. Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
I won't vote. Okay, vice chair. I'll nominate Jim.
All right, thank you.
I'll second that.
Roll call vote.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Kate Thompson, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Is that
Thanks.
everything?
Yep.
All right, we're done reorganizing. That was quick. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Good thing I came up with an
All
answer.
right, meeting minutes, April 7th. Has anyone here had a chance to look at the April 7th meeting minutes?
No, but by the end of the meeting, I will have.
Okay. Well, we'll table that to the end of the meeting then, because Kate promises to look at them before the end. Number 1, new business. Public hearing, notice of intent, Hayward Landing Associates, 26 North Street, retaining wall parking lot repair replacement, map 141, lot 5. Is it my understanding that they have requested a continuance for this meeting?
Yes, so you'll just have to open the meeting, and then you can all vote to continue to the next meeting. They did just want me to say that the applicant was not aware that they needed to adhere to Massachusetts stormwater standards for this, so that's why we're continuing. They're creating their stormwater checklist and an operation and maintenance plan as well. So that will be for the commission the next meeting.
Okay. Jim, you want to make a motion to waive the reading of the public hearing notice?
Make a motion to waive the public reading notice.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made and seconded by Brendan to waive the reading of the public hearing notice. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
All right, thank you. The meeting is now open, and we are going to vote to continue, or can I have a motion to continue the
Sure, I'll
public hearing until the next meeting, which is what, June 16th?
make a motion to postpone till June 16th for Hayward Landing Associates, 26 North Street, retaining wall parking lot repair replacement, map 141, lot 5.
Or is there a second?
I'll second.
Brendan seconds. Roll call vote, please.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Thank you. Meeting has been continued to June 16th. Next up, 6:30 PM, request for determination of applicability. Public meeting, request for determination of applicability for Kathleen Segru Richards, 36 Maryland Drive, wood retaining wall, map 242, lot 3. I want to waive the...
Make a motion to waive the public reading.
Second.
Motion's been made and seconded to waive the reading of the public hearing notice. All those in favor?
Jim Jim Farn, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. All right, what do we have? Someone here to represent that? Can you come forward and have a seat at the corner?
Want to put hand first?
Can you just state your name and address, please?
Kathy Sugar Richards, 36 Maryland Drive.
All right, thank you. And what is the project that you're proposing?
So we're putting a door in our basement, and we had to, the builder put walls to keep the dirt from collapsing on the house.
Okay. Has the work been done, or they're proposing to do this?
Well, it's actually been pretty much done because he didn't know he needed, the wall's so small, it doesn't even need a permit, so.
Uh-huh.
The picture of it up on the screen, Mark.
Yeah, he just went ahead and did it.
Okay.
We stopped as soon as we heard that.
Samantha, were you able to go out and take a look and see what?
Yep, so I did go out to the site. I don't know why this is blocking it, I can't change that, but I did go out to the site. So these retaining walls are basically right along the 100-foot buffer, so it's almost out of jurisdiction, but we're a little bit in it. So the retaining walls were part of this application, and I believe the door that will be constructed, so the door to go to the basement has not been constructed yet, but the retaining wall has been. When I was on site, I did ask if they had planted or done any seeding, put any seeding down, which they have in this area. So other than that, I don't have any additional comments. It was within existing developed area. I don't know if it all looked like a just vegetated slope here. Was it just lawn here before? Okay. So I have no further comments. We recommend a negative determination for this.
So you said that that the area where the work occurred was within the 100-foot buffer, but was on the edge of the 100-foot buffer?
I can get a site plan up just so you can see and get an idea. It's pretty close. It's right along, a little bit within the 100-foot buffer. Just 1 second. The site plan, and this was a previous site plan. I think that was for the proposed barn and the proposed driveway, which they just used for this RDA. But the location of the retaining wall is right around this orange line here, between these two orange lines on the site plan, and you can see the 100-foot buffer zone is right in between those, so it's right in this area. Maybe one side of it is out of it, maybe one side is in, but some work did occur within the 100-foot buffer.
Okay. The other work that occurred previously, I think the barn and the paddock, were those completed? And did you get a certificate of compliance for those? You did, okay. All right. Any questions of the commission or concerns?
I don't have any.
Josiah, anything? No?
No?
All right. I'm in favor of an RDA, or negative determination, I guess I should say.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you have to close the hearing, or no?
Yeah, we have to vote to close the public meeting. Yep.
Make a motion to close the public hearing?
No second?
All those in favor?
Jim Farn, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Okay.
Make a motion for a negative determination for 36 Maryland Drive for map 242, lot 3.
No second?
Motion's been made by Jim and seconded by Brendan to issue a negative determination. All those in favor?
Jim Farn, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you very much. You're good.
Yes.
You're good.
That is good, yep. The negative is good in this scenario. not, those aren't.
Wrong
They're the other notice of intent.
Right here.
How did this one?
Yeah, I was wondering.
This is a stretch for someone to call in on this one.
What, this one here, and this one?
I mean, how do you even know someone's doing this in their backyard?
I think they had to get a building inspector for the door, and so the building inspector noticed that it's within the buffer zone.
Yeah. But not that far, though. Yeah, I
No good deed goes unpunished.
Thank you.
All right, next up on the agenda, item 3, 7 PM, NOI DEP number 143-11XX, so we don't know the DEP number yet. A public hearing, notice of intent for Jason and Alice Randor, 284 Northwest Main Street, a single-family home, map 159, lot not given here. Should we, can you
Yep.
waive the public hearing notice?
Make a motion to waive public reading.
A second?
Motion's been made and seconded to waive the public hearing notice. Roll call vote.
Jim Farr, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Meeting is now open. Is there someone representing this project? On Zoom, maybe?
I have a question. If
Yep.
there's no DEP number,
Can't approve it yet.
But we can talk about it.
So, yep.
Yep.
Is Karen, are you here for this one?
I am here. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Sorry about that. I just got on.
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, so this is a notice of intent for 284 Northwest Main Street. This is an existing lot that consists of approximately 15,515 square feet. It is located on the westerly sideline of Northwest Main Street and the easterly shoreline of Whitten Reservoir. The lot has an existing cottage, a garage slab, a concrete slab, a driveway, a well, and a cesspool. The applicant is proposing to construct a 3-bedroom home, on-site sewage disposal system, paved driveway, and associated grading, while leaving the existing structure and the existing well. The proposed work activities that are within the 100-foot buffer zone of the BBW are the proposed septic system, proposed newer water line from the existing well, and associated grading. The proposed home and the driveway, the walls and part of the septic are outside of the 100-foot buffer. The distance from the existing the distance from the existing well to the edge of the water is 19 feet, and to the existing house from the edge of the water is 39.5 feet. The proposed septic system is located 86 feet from the top of the wall and at the reservoir, and the proposed house is located 108 feet from the top of the wall at the reservoir. There's also a settling basin on the property that takes on the foundation drain runoff and the roof drain and the proposed yard drain, which is on the left side of the property. Do you have a picture of the plan that's up on screen?
Give me just a second, let me see.
Karen, could you just state your name and address, please?
I'm sorry, Karen Keegan from Allen Engineering.
Thank you.
I have a plan that I can put up, Karen. I don't know what happened to the original plan that was sent in by you guys, but it got cut off somehow, so it's gonna look a little funky, but.
Oh, yeah, it does look funky.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened, but that's how we received it.
Okay. So, yeah, it's kind of just a little distorted, I guess you could say. So, as you can see, there's an existing house on the lot, and that house is approximately 39.5 feet off the top of the wall at the edge of the Witten Reservoir. There's an existing well 19 feet off of that top of the wall. And the cesspool is on the upland side of the house. They're proposing to put in a 3-bedroom home. You can see that on the plan. And remove the slab, which is in between the house and the road. There's a garage slab there. And put in a paved driveway. Those will be outside of the 100-foot buffer.
Just a second, Karen. Do we have bigger plans here?
Yeah.
Because I hate when the plan is smaller than the details.
Yeah.
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 It just doesn't make any sense.
What doesn't make any sense?
When the plan is smaller than the details and takes up so little of the, I can't see it on an
No, I
11
can't
by
do that.
17.
Yeah, you really can't see it on an 11 by 17. It's a little harder. With tents, though, I should have had 24 by 36 with it.
All right, yeah, we have them now.
I don't know if you could share this one. if you want. This is the plan here. You can see it a little better.
All right, thank you. I think you can resume your presentation.
So there's a settling basin on the lot, and it's in between the proposed septic system and the edge of the Witten Reservoir. And that proposed settling basin is for the roof drain, the foundation drain, and the yard drain. And at the top of that is a 4-foot berm, and then beyond that 4-foot berm is a 5-foot grass swale. There are erosion controls completely around that entire lot, from the street, one side of the edge of the property, all the way down to the water and back up to the street again. And it is a silt fence and 12-inch mulch wattles. This particular project went to zoning a couple of weeks ago, and they were asked to shrink the house and move it 7 feet towards the reservoir. So we are now in the process of doing that. Shrinking it from side to side is what they were looking for us to do, and moving it back. We are continued for June 4th with that meeting, which is on Wednesday. The building inspector recommended that we come to conservation first before the zoning board votes on anything. So that's why we're in front of you, before we get ZBA approval. And the ZBA asked that we demo the existing house. So on the property, it shows the existing house. And originally, we were going to keep that original house there, but at that particular zoning meeting, which was after we filed for this NOI, they asked if we would demo the house. At this time, the homeowner is willing to do this if zoning would allow them to put in a gazebo and some sort of a sitting area in place of the house. So I believe the grading should somewhat be a little bit different around the reservoir area. It shouldn't encroach any more than the erosion controls that are on the plan. I know there's a lot. I know there's a lot on this plan. Are there any questions? Are there any questions?
I can't make anything out.
So what is the distance from the limit of work to the wall at the reservoir?
From the closest point would be, from the limit of work would be around the well area. That's the closest point, and I don't have a distance there, but I'm going to guess it's somewhere around 15 feet would be its closest point. But that's an existing well that we want to still use.
Yep.
So I think he just
Was
wants
that 15 feet?
Yes, 15. Yeah.
I'm going to guess 15.
Yeah, I would say that that whole line of erosion control is about, roughly 15 to 20 feet from the rock wall,
About that.
roughly.
Yep.
And the limit of grading, so there's like a 600 contour, that's roughly 25 feet. Maybe
Yeah.
maybe a little bit under 25 feet from the reservoir edge.
Yes. Somewhere in there. Yep.
How will the homeowners get from the house to the reservoir? Is there a path or any kind of impervious surface, the walkway, anything like that?
At this time, there is none. They have no pathway or anything else in that area. So at this point, there is none.
Do they have a dock?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I can't answer that question because I really, as far as Google Maps is concerned, no, they do not have a dock.
They're going to have to get to that gazebo somehow.
Well, from the back of their house, I'm assuming it's going to be grassed over the septic system.
Okay.
And they will be able to walk from there, probably at that wall, there may be a set of stairs somewhere in there that they would put in between there and where they want to put the gazebo where the existing house is. I am not designing this, so I am not too sure of where they want to do that.
Okay. I just
There's a
don't...
lot of questions here.
What's that?
There's a lot of questions here.
Yeah. Yep. So I think we're just starting with our questions. I mean, I just want to make sure that they are thinking ahead as to what they are going to need. And, it just seems to me like they're going to want to have some walkway down towards the reservoir somehow. So they should be planning for that as part of the proposal here and not wanting to come back to us after the fact and say, oh, well, we didn't think about a path.
Right.
If they have a boat, they're going to want to be able to, get a boat down there somehow. Is there room to be able to do that? Can they go between the building and, not that I want a path, but just suggesting that it be thought of.
Yep, I can add that in.
Is there a retaining wall at the back of the existing structure? There's a...
Not at the back of the existing structure, no.
I do have some photos.
Oh,
of
good.
The existing conditions, if you'd like me to show that.
Sure, I can stop asking questions.
Okay. See if it comes up. All right, so this is looking at the site from Northwest Main Street. This is the existing driveway area. And then the driveway comes pretty steep down to the existing house. So this is what the grading looks like currently. And here's the house. There's the reservoir. So this is kind of what the backyard looks like right now. Our comments on this one are, obviously the grades are pretty steep on this site. This commission approved back in, I don't know, I think it was October of 2024, the neighboring site, 278 Northwest Main Street. Some things that the commission required as part of that approval was that the construction was phased out. So I think, actually Allen Engineering did do that one as well. And
Yes, we did.
they color-coded and added to the plan the different phases. So that's a strong recommendation from us. Obviously, this can't be approved tonight. There's no DEP file number, and I know there's a lot of questions to still be asked. So that's something, at least for Karen, to think about adding some type of phasing if the commission wishes. And we could add a special condition for that as well. So that's the first thing. Brandon and I talked about, if, again, you're probably not going to approve it tonight anyway, so conditioning the machinery to be 100 feet away from the reservoir when you do go to approve this. Special condition to conduct a pre-construction meeting for this one as well, due to the steep slopes of this and the importance of the erosion control being very good on this site. So just from the questions that you guys have had so far, I just wrote a couple things down, just maybe for Karen to take notes if you guys want. So what I think is the demolished house, if it's going to be demolished, the existing house right now, that should be shown on the plan, that it's going to be demolished, or there's a note that it's going to be demolished. I think we need to show the limit of work distance to the reservoir, show the limit of grading maybe from that basin to the reservoir, the distance. And then if there is going to be a set of stairs, obviously, we could depict that on the next site plan. So I think, as of right now, the commission should be seeing a new site plan before, anything is decided upon. But that's our comments for this one. Definitely should be phased out.
Yes.
Thank you, Samantha. Anybody else? Do you have any? Commission members have any questions? Well, I don't want to be the only one asking questions.
Guess that's it for right now.
Did this come out of there?
Excuse me?
Did this come out of there?
No, Sam did it. It's,
So Karen, what I was thinking was a existing retaining wall is actually a proposed retaining wall I see now. On
Yeah, it's
the,
a proposed retaining wall. That proposed retaining wall is around the septic area.
right, and that was because you were saving the house, but now with the house gone, to be removed,
They're still going to put a retaining wall there
They would-
because of the grading.
okay,
Yeah, they'll need it. They'll need it because of the grading into that settling basin. So
okay,
they'll need that retaining wall. It should not be removed. It should stay.
okay.
So there is no dock, they just have the little entryway, right?
Yeah, there's no dock.
No.
Is that like a boat landing? Is that what that is down there?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Looks to me like one, yes. I agree. Or a little swimming area? I don't know. Oh,
great.
you have it on the
It
picture.
is.
Yeah, that's why we were asking.
I see it.
It looks like it's sloped
it
down.
looks like it's a boat launch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, do you see that? I mean, I'm looking at the plan, and they're completely cut off from
Yeah.
getting to the water with any kind of,
These plants have to be redone. Just confused.
and if that's what they're, if they know that and they're okay with that, then that's fine, but I just,
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying because it doesn't show in the plan that they have access to that.
Right.
Got it.
and they have a retaining wall that comes across, that's only, it starts like 8 or 10 feet away from the property line. Then they have the settling area, and the grades are in that are not, doesn't allow them to be able to get past either of those things to get down to the water with a piece of,
It's only 8 foot to drop.
but if that's what they want to do,
So you're suggesting they should extend and show some kind of access down to the water?
If that's what
Or a
they,
vehicle or whatever?
If that's what they want to do, I mean, they don't
Yeah.
have to do that.
exactly, if that's what they want to do, I would want to have it be part of this NOI as opposed to them coming back to
Right.
us
later.
later.
But do they need that if they were going to walk a canoe down, do you need to show that? So it's really just for a vehicle
Probably not. yeah.
access?
Correct.
Or if you're going to make any kind of permanent walkway or something like that? Got it.
Yeah.
Right, it would just be for a vehicle to get down there to get a boat in and out of the water. But, I mean, if they don't want that to happen,
Right.
they don't need a path showing it down there. Obviously, this is a very nicely lawned area, according to those pictures. It looks
It's
nice.
beautiful, I know, exactly.
But I think to Mark's point, you would think that because it's nice, you would put a walkway or something down there. I mean, it would make sense. Certainly worth asking the question.
I can ask the question with them to see what they want to do.
Hey there, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. These are the Randors. We were just able to log on. If you guys want to recap what the question is, we're happy to answer it.
We were just talking about how between the retaining wall at the low side of the septic system, along the edge of where the existing structure is, and then also the settling basin area, that it would be restricting easy access to the water. And so we wanted to make sure that you were aware of that, and that if you wanted to, propose to add any kind of a walkway or pathway, that it should be done at this time, and not decide later and come back and say, oh, we need to have that. So just wanted you guys to be aware.
Okay, yeah, no, we are aware of the settling basin. I think the location is around the same proximity on a latitudinal line to the existing structure. And, somewhat into where the portion of driveway is that also exists. It is good food for thought. At this time, I think that the priority really lies with our ability to build a home and meet all the requirements for the town to start.
Okay.
Thank you, though, for bringing that to our attention and the consideration with that as well.
Yeah, no, we're good. Anything else for tonight?
I don't think so.
Okay. We can't close the public hearing tonight, Karen, because there is not the DEP number, so
Yeah.
are you okay with a continuance?
Yeah,
And do you want us to continue to the next meeting or to the July meeting?
nope, the next meeting is good.
Okay. And you'll be able to get us changes to the plan a week before the next meeting?
If we cannot make changes to the plans on time, then we will ask for a continuance to the next meeting after that. But we're going to try to make the next meeting.
Okay. But just, we need them a week ahead of time, so. All right. Yes, can we have a motion to continue the public hearing? Oh, wait,
We'll make the motion just to continue the next meeting, right?
hold on.
Yeah, okay.
Any public comment? Anybody from the public want to comment on the plan or the proposal? All right. Seeing none, continue to the,
All right. we'll continue this into the next meeting for 284 Northwest Main Street, single-family, map 159, to June 16th, 2025.
For a second?
I'll second.
Motion's been made by Jim, seconded by Brendan to continue this public hearing till June 16th. Roll call vote?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Rocco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you very much. I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you, Alice.
Allison, Elise, and Jason, thank you.
All right, Elise and Jason, thank you very much. Next on the agenda, going to old business. Public meeting continued, request for determination of applicability. Clarissa Jeffrey, 182 Southwest Main Street, Path Shed Pad, map 226, lot 13.
Hi, I'm here.
Hello, can you state your name and address, please?
My name is Clarissa Jeffrey, and I'm representing 182 Southwest Main Street.
Thank you, Clarissa, appreciate it. What do we have here, Samantha?
So since the last time, the commission needed Brandon or myself to go out to the site to put up a couple flags just to see how close the work was going to be to the wetland itself. So what I did is I went out, I met with Clarissa and the homeowner. I hung 4 flags just in the location of where the work was taking place. And then Clarissa used her measuring tape to measure how far the work was going to be from the wetland. So this is the general area. There's the road there. There's basically, it's kind of like an existing path-ish area to access this spot here. They're going to be putting down gravel, I believe. Clarissa can answer that a little bit better, but this is looking up at where the work will take place. So it's kind of a steep drop going from where the work will take place down to the wetland itself. It is going to be a little bit farther from the edge of the drop, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. But when we measured it out, I'm trying to get one of these pictures that shows. This is a good depiction of what it looks like. So where they are right now is where the work is going to take place. It's kind of pretty straight here, and then it drops down, and the wetland is right down here. There's a flag right in this spot where my cursor is. So they'll be putting down the stone. Clarissa, do you mind just describing again the process of what you guys are going to be doing? Because I know we talked about on site that you'd maybe grading things out a little bit.
Yeah, so there are some existing soil piles. I don't know where they came from or why they're there, but clearly they've been there for a little while. So we were going to just kind of move the native soil and the existing soil around and take out any of like the low-lying shrubbery, as we can't, bury that. So we were just going to kind of scrape off like you could see it in the pictures. There's just some low-lying like little plants and just saplings and whatnot. We're not taking out any of the trees, like the established trees. Everything is staying. We're going to lay road-based filter fabric. It is a permeable fabric, so water will be able to pass through the fabric, and then just laying 1.5-inch stone on top of the fabric. And the edge of the stone will be approximately 45 feet away from the flag that Samantha put.
And then, so when Clarissa did measure it out, you can see in this picture here, this area kind of right where my cursor is was around where the 50-foot mark is, so it's going to come a little bit closer to where I'm standing. We did inform the owner that Douglas has a 50-foot no build, so that the shed that this is all going to be for a shed in the future. Now, the shed is not part of this application right now. This is just for the stone area where the shed will go. So in the future, if the applicant does want to put a shed there, he has to come back before the commission, but I did tell him it cannot be within 50 feet of the wetland. So I also said, just keep your erosion control. Oh, geez. You want me to pause?
Yeah.
Please. We're going to try to get it back up, but it's actually a Zoom issue, so
Okay.
Pat's going to try to remote and get it back up. Hopefully it will stay on. It looks like it's back on.
I don't know if I'm logged in. Let me see. I'm just gonna join it again.
There's a shot from the piece of banana.
It's almost 7:30.
My stomach's starting to get hungry, too.
Look at that.
Okay.
Is everyone up there?
I have to request sharing. Good? Maybe?
We're good, sorry, we were booted out of the meeting.
Yeah, we had some technical difficulties on this end. All right. Let's get back to, okay, so here's the photo. So the crushed stone will come within the 50-foot buffer, as Clarissa said, about 45 feet away. The owner asked if he could move the erosion controls closer to where the edge of the drop-off is. I suggested he keep them as close as he can to the area of work. So I think it would be good to condition, potentially, if you're going to approve this tonight, just condition that the erosion controls stay at least 45 feet. Maybe if you want to give them an extra couple feet, so 43 feet from the resource area. It's up to the commission how they want to condition that, but that's a suggestion. Brandon pointed out that there is going to be a little bit of disturbance happening, and inevitably it's going to be within the 50-foot buffer zone, and I mean by ground disturbance, because they're going to be filling in this. It's hard to tell, but this area here is kind of indented, so that's where Clarissa was saying they're going to take some of this piled soil here and use it to spread it and make it more even in this area. So when you do the disturbance of ground disturbance within the 50-foot buffer, you kind of get more into NOI territory, but that's up to the commission's discretion. I will say this area is a relatively flat area, like I said, and it's pretty flat beyond where he's going to be doing his work, and then it drops down to the wetland. Other than that, we would recommend a negative determination if the commission sees that fit, and that's the comments that we have for this. We did say he had asked if he could take a tree down, but I told him it needed to be included. As Clarissa said, they're not going to be doing that. He did mention maybe taking down just one of the low-lying branches over here in this picture you can see, which, I mean, the equipment would probably knock that off anyway, so I said that would be fine if they just are cutting one branch like this one as they come a low-lying branch in.
So, looking at the plan, you know, what little plan we have, it comes, the path comes all the way from the road,
Yes. So in this picture,
and it kind of skirts.
so I think that's supposed to be the erosion control. I think they wrote down there, red silt fence, so that was supposed to be their erosion control. So again, if you wanted to condition it to be 43 feet from the wetland, where that pad is shown is about 50 feet. The stone will go beyond 50 feet within the 50-foot buffer a little bit more. But again, this is not for the construction of the shed itself, it's just the stone pad.
So they're not doing trees now, right?
No trees will be
So last meeting, they originally were going to do trees, right?
I
Or
don't know
am
if
I-
they're
We were
going
only
to.
talking about any type of like saplings, no tree removal, no stump removal, nothing that's big, just the low-lying saplings.
Okay, thank you.
How wide is the path?
It's gonna maintain approximately what it is right now, so you can see there's two little trees on my left and right from where I'm standing. It's going to be maintained within those two trees right there, approximately 15 feet.
No, I'm asking how wide is the gravel path going to be?
Like the pad?
Yes, approximately 15 feet.
I'm
The pad is
confused.
going to
15
extend a little
feet
bit
wide.
further as it's going to be.
What are the dimensions of the pad then? What are the dimensions of the pad?
The pad itself, it's approximately 20 by 20.
Square.
And is there a path that goes from the road to the pad?
Correct. That's going to be about 15 feet wide over where I'm standing in the picture between the two trees.
A 15-foot wide pad or path?
Yeah.
Why so wide? What are you bringing, why does the path need to be as wide as 15 feet? When a vehicle width is, the wheelbase of a vehicle is like 8 to 9 feet.
Sure.
That was just what the customer had requested. I think he was trying to maintain keeping some of the vegetation at bay so it wasn't encroaching on his path, but there's no specific reason as to why.
And Samantha, you said that, I mean, I understand that the pad that they're requesting is approximately 50 feet away, but the path that comes to it, is that completely within the buffer zone?
It's still within the 100-foot buffer zone, yes. So like I said, where my cursor is in this photo here, and it might be hard to see, but this is approximately where the 50-foot is, where the owner's standing here. So probably where it extends out to the road, so that'll still be within the 100-foot buffer, yes.
And those two people that have red shirts on in the picture, is that where the path comes in? Is
So,
along
yeah.
that line, not over the top of the hill?
No, no. Where Clarissa is standing in this photo, where this low-lying area is, this is where the path is going to be coming in. So it'll come in right here, and then this whole area, kind of where I'm standing here, is going to be this pad. So it'll be the stone area.
So is the stone going to be on the path too, or is it just going to be
I
natural
believe so.
vegetation?
Right, Clarissa, the stone will be the path as well.
Yeah.
Correct,
the drawing
yes.
shows.
It's going to be a stone path from the roadway through where I'm standing between those two trees down towards where the property owner is standing and a little bit beyond that, like Samantha said, more closer to where she was standing, just to give a little bit of a like an apron around the shed.
This gives an idea
Again,
of what it
this
looks
is
like from the
vegetation
road.
at bay.
So it's not, there's no trees in this direct area right here. So this is the spot here where they're planning on going in.
There are some dead woods that are down that we will be moving out of the area. As you can see, there is like some very small dead woods, maybe 4 to 5, 6 inches max in diameter, but they're already fallen. They're very rotted and decaying, so we were just going to get them out of there as we can't bury them, of course.
Do you know what the, well, you're not applying for a building. Do you know what the pad is going to be used for what kind of, what's going to be stored on it or in that area?
He has a goal of putting a shed there. His figure was approximately 12 by 10 shed, but he has not picked a shed yet, and he said he's probably not even going to do the shed until next year. For now, he's just prepping, and then he needs to recoup and then plan for the shed.
Okay, the reason I'm asking is because you're not proposing a slab or anything for the shed, and it's an impervious, I mean, you're saying that it's an impervious surface, so I'm just have a little bit of concern as to what's going to be stored in that shed on impervious surface.
Well,
50 feet from the
shed,
wetland.
I'm assuming is going to be on some type of cinder blocks to elevate it, and he can have some type of ramp or something. But again, I am just the excavation contractor. I have no idea what he's doing. All I know is that we're putting in a path and a pad, but we're not privy to the future plans
Right.
of the project.
Right, I know, and it's not before us, so. Any questions of the commission or concerns?
Yeah, I have a concern. It's like, she said 20 by 20, that's 400 feet, right? If my math is right.
Your math is correct.
Yes.
And that's in the wetland, to put a shed, you know? It's not like a real need here, you know? And it's less than 50 feet from what Samantha was saying. It's like 43 feet. It's, you know, and I don't know. I'd probably want to take a look at it. I mean, this plan is really, it's tough, you know? I don't get much out of it.
No,
I mean,
there's not a lot of information.
All the questions you asked is, you know, I'm more educated about it, but yeah, I don't like this.
Yeah, well, it's a request for a determination of applicability, so it's up to them to demonstrate to us that, you know, that what they're doing is not going to impact
It looks like it.
the wetland.
It would, you know?
But
Why do you think it would?
Because it's
Because you just
it's
put
that
down
close.
stone, right? And what do you always store in sheds usually?
Yeah, lawnmower,
Right, so you got the previous,
chainsaws.
But we're not talking about they didn't ask for a shed, they're asking
Yeah,
for a path to get there.
Right, that's true.
So, I mean, we're not passing judgment on a shed, we're passing judgment on can they put the road where they're proposing it.
Just
put
saying
the
it's
stone
a
bin.
400 square foot area that they're clearing out down there.
They're not
Yes,
clearing
the
it, it's already
property owner
clear.
is understanding that he needs to file another RDA and potentially an NOI for the shed in the future. He understands that this is not part of it.
And I don't agree that they're clearing it. It's already an existing, you could probably drive a vehicle back there, maybe not a car, but a truck, back there currently. So they're putting crushed stone or whatever as a base back there. I personally don't think it's that as bad as you guys are making it, as well as it appears, and correct me if I'm wrong, when you're looking down there, there's a hill off to the left before it goes down to the wetland. So whatever the issue is with the possible fear of something getting to the wetland, I would think would be almost eliminated by the fact that that hill's there.
Well, the hill in this picture where you can see Clarissa in the orange, there's a hill behind her, but the wetland is right down here to the right. So that hill is going towards the house. So that is not gonna stop anything. I mean, if anything's gonna go, it's gonna go to our right in this photo. Again, like I said, this area is fairly flat and vegetated before it goes down to the wetland. An option is the commission could give a positive determination and request he do a notice of intent with everything together if you feel that that's more fit for this situation. That's what I have on that.
I mean, I look at it this way. If he wants to just do this, right, then we can worry about the shed later, and that might end up being more of an expense or less of an expense for him, depending on whatever, because it'll still follow within the 100-foot buffer zone anyways, right?
Is the applicant still planning to have the silt fence? I'm sorry if I just didn't hear her talking about
Yes,
that.
absolutely. We are going to be putting silt fence in approximately 43 feet away from the wetlands.
Oh, that was got it. Thank you.
would you be, or would the applicant consider reducing the width on the path in and also reducing the size of the pad? The area that I'm looking at is pretty sloped, so to create a 20-foot wide flat pad on the slope with that kind of a hillside that would require quite a bit of cut and fill, it looks like to me. So would you consider a smaller pad and a smaller path?
Yeah, what would be the recommendation? Are there any recommendations on how you'd like me to reduce it?
I don't see any reason why 10-foot wide path wouldn't be wide enough.
Okay.
And if he's considering a 12-foot by 12-foot,
That's a lot of room all the way
It
around.
was 12 by 10, so
12 by 10, yeah, I
Or
mean,
you could even do, if you...
could we reduce it to
15
15?
15 by 15.
Exactly.
sure.
Okay.
And then, as you said, if he comes back for a structure, he can always try to expand the pad bigger at that point if he wants to try to do that, or if they want to do that.
Yeah, but then you're going back in there twice and
Yeah.
disturbing, rather than just doing it once and being done with it. If you're going to, to me, if you're going to go in and do it once and be done. Even whether, and maybe he'd rather a bigger shed. I mean, maybe that's something the property owner has to answer. Because I think if it were me,
Right.
I don't want to build a 15 by 15 square pad and then come back a year later and put 2 feet additional around it. That just doesn't make a lot of sense.
So
I think you're making it worse by doing it twice.
you think we should do a positive determination then, and,
I personally have no problem with what they're proposing. I just,
no, to hear the whole story, you know?
like I said,
Well, the pad isn't on the slope, right?
It's not on the slope.
It's on a flat
This
area.
area is relatively flat, minus the holes that they're proposing to fill.
Fill,
basically.
right.
So where he's standing right now is relatively flat, and then it goes another 15 feet in this direction to the right, and then it slopes down. So what I had said was, he had said to me, oh, can I put the erosion controls farther back towards the slope? And I said, I would keep it as close as you can to the area that you're doing the work in. So keeping the erosion controls closer to the area where he's doing gives them, I don't want to, maybe 15 feet, and then it slopes down. So you do have an area that's relatively flat before it slopes down to the wetlands.
Okay.
But Samantha, I thought you showed another picture, and you said the 50-foot buffer is on the slope.
No, it's farther in. It could have been the way the picture looked, but let me try to get back to that one. I've got the wide zoom.
And so that's why they wanted to go to 45, was because the 50 was kind of up on the slope and not on that level.
Yeah, so I don't know if this helps, but so here's the wetland flag down here. And then when Clarissa did the tape, the 50-foot is about where she is standing, right here.
Right.
So this area between is relatively flat until
I understand, but that's not where the work is proposed. The work is proposed to her left as we
Yes,
look at
the
this
work is
picture. So
proposed-
that's what I wanted to see, is to her left, is what that ground looks
Okay.
like. When you had a picture that showed that.
Is that to her left? Right there?
Let me
No.
go back to another one. Hang on, I have a better one. Okay, this one.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's the one. So the person on the left, they're at like the 50.
50,
And
yes.
so if I look up in front of them, isn't that sloping up quite a bit?
This is sloping up, but this is going towards the house. Behind me is that slope that goes down.
Right, but if they're going to do if they're looking to do a 20-foot by 20-foot pad, and he's on the edge of that pad, right?
a little bit-
Isn't it going up into that hill quite a bit? And there need to be a pretty good-sized cut into that hill.
That's a question for Clarissa. I'm not exactly sure. They didn't say anything to me about needing to cut into that hill.
We're not going to be cutting anything. The only thing we're taking out of there is some of the leaves, some of that low-lying vegetation, but I'm not removing any, loom or we're not cutting anything. We're not taking any of the soils out of there. The only thing we're taking out of there is either deceased vegetation or some of the low-lying vegetation in the areas that have been discussed.
So right here would be the hypothetical path, right? Right
Yes,
here.
where she's going out, yep.
Yep, so right there's the path, right here is the
It's-
pad.
It's gonna, from what I'm understanding, it's taking up some of this area, which again, this wide angle zoom makes it look a little funkier than it is, but it's basically this area,
Yeah.
not up the hill, but this is where all that stone was gonna go.
And then this is like that little extra pile of dirt that
Yes.
they're just gonna spread out.
Because what right in front of it, again, it's hard to see in the picture, but right in front of it here is a low-lying, kind of almost like a hole. So
Okay.
they were gonna use some of this pile to fill that in.
So, because in the picture, it looks like this and this is like
Yeah, I see what you're
permanent, you know what
saying,
I
yeah.
mean? So this is just like a pile of dirt basically with,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's not, I wouldn't say it's new, it's been there for a
Right,
while.
no, I know, but it's not like this is more like a.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessarily part of the hillside, no.
Okay.
I'm trying to see if I have another.
Have we kicked this around enough? I mean, I'm still, I know you disagree, Brendan, but I mean, I feel more comfortable about a negative determination if we were to reduce the width of the driveway and reduce the size of the pad. I'm almost in favor of a positive determination and requiring that they file a notice if they want to do it at 20 feet wide and a 400 square foot pad.
Right.
I just feel like that's monstrous for that location.
Good size, yeah.
And the other way to look at it would be to allow them to do what they are asking to do and just condition it, that they're not going to grade the hill, they're not going to grade, outside of the area of only slightly outside the area of what they want to construct, and just condition it that way. So if that's how you, if I would be okay with that, but.
At least then it's the homeowner's choice is the side of they have a choice with that at least.
Josiah, how do you, I mean, would you
I
be
would be
okay
okay
with
with what you were
conditioning
saying
it?
with the conditions.
That their work area stay contained within that
Yeah, the
400 square foot pad area and the 20-foot path coming in?
the path has got to be half of that. I mean, it really does.
Well, no, it's 15 feet. They're doing 15 feet for the
Mark is
path.
saying 10, yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah,
I think, like,
I can't.
There should be some, yeah,
I think if you did,
conditions and not,
like, I would,
not 400 feet.
no, I know, but like, I think if you did make it like 12, bring it down from 15 down to 12 feet, gives them a little bit of room, like if they have a truck and whatever, right, to bring in or whatever they're going to do.
Big truck.
I don't understand though who are we to decide how big their space is? They might have a reason for why they want it to be that wide.
Right.
Who are we to decide, no, you can't have it that wide?
Well, it's
Because we don't like it?
Because they're before us.
Just because. it's in the
But
wet- in
again, what's the
wetland.
technical reason to say, I don't want it 15 feet wide, I only want it 12 feet wide?
Because the
Really
amount of
shouldn't even
ground that
do
they're
it.
disturbing within a buffer zone.
Yeah,
Again, but what's the technical reason? So they're disturbing
they're in the
ground.
wetland, yeah.
I don't feel like you guys have a good technical reason why you're saying 12 versus 15.
We
What is 12? Does 12
Shouldn't
make it
even be
better?
allowing the whole thing.
Well, I mean, that's why they're here. You can vote to not allow it. I don't, if you told me, look, if we go from 20 by 20 to 15 by 15, here's the reason for that, not just because I think 15 by 15 is better than 20 by 20?
It's just less of an impact. I mean, Mark's trying to work with the site.
Well, I'm just telling you my opinion on it.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Well,
So if we did the work stays contained within the 400-foot pad and the 20-foot path?
not 20, 15, you were right.
15.
Yeah, I was stating it
Sorry,
was 20
15,
foot
yeah.
wide, and they're asking your 15-foot wide path, correct?
That was the original proposal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the erosion control?
So you want to condition it to, do you want to keep it at 15 feet, or do you want to reduce it from 15 feet? Do you want to condition it for that?
So what we're talking about is to condition it with that they would install erosion control barrier no closer than 45 feet from the edge of the wetland. with the limit of work to be no closer than 45 feet to the edge of the wetland, and condition it that their work area or disturbed area would be no wider than 15 feet
The path.
on the path,
Yep.
and 20 feet by 20 feet on the
So you're saying you want it no
Pad.
larger than 20 by 20?
Yeah, and that's what they asked for.
Is that,
I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I think that's where you were, and that was option one, right? Or did you, that was if they want to proceed that way, or were you, was there?
we're just going to
Okay.
vote on that.
Okay.
So-
I'm fine voting.
A negative determination with those conditions. Is that,
All right, so
so,
I'll make a recommendation for a negative determination for 182 Southwest Main Street with the condition for the erosion control stays at 45 feet, work area stay contained within the 400-foot pad and also within the 15-foot path. Did I
Yep.
get everything? Okay.
Path no wider than 15 feet.
Yep, no wider than the 15.
And I think Mark said no closer than 45 feet to the wetland.
Yep, which I,
Okay,
okay.
I second that.
okay. Motion's been made and seconded for the negative determination with those conditions. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye. Aye.
Josiah Birch, no.
Mark Mungem, aye. Thank you. Clarissa?
Thank you. We're all set?
Yes, you're all set.
Will we be getting something in the mail to confirm or via email?
You should be getting it from, you can contact Jen at the town hall. I'm not sure, she might email it to people, or you could come pick it up when it's ready. It'll probably be a couple days.
Okay. Okay, I'll wait a couple days. I'll reach out to Jen. Thank you.
Can you just also notify Jen when you're planning to start so that someone can come and take a look at the erosion control barrier once it's installed?
Absolutely. Yep.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks, yeah.
Next item is,
Waiting for it.
yep, agenda item number 5, NOI DP number 143-1112, public hearing continued. Notice of intent for Christopher Betancourt, 0 Perry Street, for a fire road, map 269, lot 13 and 14.
Yeah, so we haven't gotten any updates, we haven't gotten any revised plans for this one, so it's just gonna need to be continued.
Okay.
Didn't last time, did we talk about trying to extend it further out?
So I think we were just going to let it ride, right?
Yeah, Mark asked if there was any grading, does the road need to be as wide as it was? That was a question that was asked, and Chris basically said no, and they were going to continue, and it's just been continued since then, and that was in October, I think, so
Yeah.
I think he was redoing his team, he was kind of resetting things, so we haven't gotten anything from him for this one.
I think he hired someone new. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
What's that?
You want to make a motion to continue it to,
Sure.
what, August?
I'm in favor of that.
Do you know when- do you know what the date is for August for us? I'm sorry. Usually I'm really good at that.
No.
It is
Can I just
August 19th.
Okay.
Oh, hold on, I'm sorry, I'm on 2024.
Oh, that's a big difference.
August 11th.
August 11th, all right. I will make a motion to continue this to August 11th for DP 143-1112 public hearing for Benton Court, 0 Perry Street, map 269, lot 13 and 14.
I second that.
Motion's been made and seconded to continue the public hearing. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Thank you. All right. I think we'll just pass on Lakeshore Drive. I have not heard anything. We haven't heard anything from DEP.
Bob is up on the screen. Bob's here.
Yeah, for the record, Robert Moran, and I'm fine with that too. I just wanted to make sure if it was discussed, I was present.
Thank you, Robert.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
thank you.
Yep, sorry. All right, discussion item 2, no, before discussion. Wow.
These are delicious.
Really good, you outdid yourself.
We have 2 different kinds here?
Yeah, plain and one with chocolate chip.
40 minutes, we're going to get logged out of Zoom. It's because of like something that happened today with Zoom merging our accounts.
Okay.
So we're going to get kicked out of there every 40 minutes. So we have 10 minutes and then it's going to boot us off again. And we'll just have to reopen it and re-log in as far as Zoom goes. Just so you're aware, just so you're not surprised.
Do you wanna-
Again, so it's going to happen about every 40 minutes until they fix the problem.
Do you want to just log out and log back in now? Because who else is on Zoom?
It's just, right now, it's just Sam and us, so right now, there's not any
Okay.
public members, but just so you guys know,
Okay.
that's why it went down, and it's, I guess, from what Pat was telling me, it's because of their merge they did today with our accounts,
Okay.
so it's gonna keep doing that to us, unfortunately. I just saw it pop up a warning that it was gonna close in 10 minutes, so I'm like, I'm gonna let you know. Thank you. Thanks.
Mark, can I ask a question?
Absolutely.
So with Lakeshore Drive going on and on and on and on,
Yep.
what are the rules for us as a group to go out and like walk or drive that site? If there's more than how many of us is in an official
2.
meeting? More than 2?
Isn't it? Yep.
Yep.
More than 2. So once you hit number 3,
But the only thing we have to do is make posts that it's an official meeting.
Correct. We could vote to have a site walk and go together and post it as a public meeting.
and then you have to have a hearing afterwards, right? Once you do that or no?
Nope.
You're not allowed to go to the site if it's.
No, you can go on your
I've
own
been down there
anytime.
a couple
okay.
of times.
I have 2, that's why I'm
Yeah,
like, wait a
and
minute.
same with me, and that place is amazing. That's why I wonder if we shouldn't go together.
Yeah.
Unless, has everybody seen it? Mike may not have. Have you guys have both?
I've been,
It's worth a visit, for sure.
I will go take a ride.
Yeah.
It's worth taking a look. I think you'll have a better appreciation. I had no understanding what we were talking about, and I drove down, I'm like, oh, it's very different than what I thought it was.
Right.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I think I don't know that we need to do the group trip if most of us have already been there, but I think it's worth seeing it, Jim. And I don't know that it's going to make any difference other than maybe we all can push on the state a little bit, who knows?
well, we can't really discuss it too much tonight, but yes, that's, what you said is a strong and a good recommendation, that everybody see the site, try to see the site, because it might change your opinion as to what's happening. So if you can get there, do so. And if you want us to meet there as a commission, I mean, is that something that you feel you'd like us to do?
I don't know, if you guys have been there, I know that when I drove there, I personally had a very different opinion when I drove out of there than I did before I got there. Just after seeing everything and what's, I only saw the pictures of the runoff. When you kind of see the bigger picture, for me, it was game changing.
When did you go? If you don't mind me asking? Like recently?
Within the past 2 months.
I've only gone when it's rained.
That's even probably better.
It's awful.
Yeah. And I don't know that it makes any difference, Mark, other than I was hoping everybody would see it. It just seems like it's the bane of our existence.
Exactly. But we can't do anything right now until DP, right?
Yeah.
So we're kind of.
Exactly.
I guess.
All right. Thanks for bringing that up. 218 Northwest Main Street, update? What is that about,
Yeah, so
Samantha?
the owner wanted to update you guys, and we wanted to put it on the record that she is following her determination of applicability, how it should be. And she wanted to just discuss that with the commission. She's obviously not here this evening, but it just needed to be acknowledged on the record that she's following her determination of applicability.
What is the project?
That's a good question. I can bring it up.
Is this the water slide? Is that what I'm seeing in the pictures? Or a water slide?
Number 7.
I think this is the one where she had trees cut down. Yeah, there was a bunch of trees cut down, and then she was replanting shrubs in their place. So she wanted the commission to know that she's planted the shrubs and that they're, I don't have any pictures of the shrubs. I have pictures of when the trees were getting cut down, but I don't think she's sent in anything, any update photos or anything like that.
There are some photos in our, sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
Yep.
In our package, there's some small trees with tags on them. I don't know if those
Which I do have.
Okay.
I didn't think I had it, but I do. So she's got the shrubs planted in there now. Brandon nor myself have gone to the site since she's planted them, but
it's kind of her to keep us informed.
Yeah.
they've been planted.
All right. Next up. I had Jen send everybody the special conditions, standard and special conditions from a couple other towns, town of Sutton and the city of Beverly, Mass. Since I've been on the commission, which I got on in 2019, we've never reviewed the conditions that we apply to every single project which we approve, the notice of intent. And so I just thought, and I know that in my business, I work with a lot of different towns, and I see a lot of conditions, a lot of different special conditions, and it seemed to me like other towns had more stuff, as part of their special conditions than the town of Douglas has. So I thought, being that it had been several years, that maybe a review would be good to do, just to see if there's anything that another town is doing that maybe we should do as well. We may not, maybe we feel like Douglas is fine, we're a pretty simple town and we just keep it simple, but there may be something. One of the ones that particularly came to my mind was that we see sometimes sites go dormant where, they do the clearing and then nothing happens for months and months and months. And so, the silt fence gets put up right after they finish the clearing, and then it just sits there and, it's prone to erosion. I'm thinking of Martin Road right now. I mean, it was cleared last fall and nothing has been done. They haven't proceeded with the construction of the house. They haven't put in the driveway. They haven't done anything. So, and I don't know that there's any issue with that or any problem with that on that site, but and in other towns, there's wording that says that if it's going to be, if the work is not going to proceed within 30 days, then they should, seed it to a rye or winter rye or something like that. It just holds the soil. If there's any soil stockpiles, that they should seed them and that sort of thing. So that was one that I have seen a lot of times that we don't have as part of ours. That it's not a big deal, but it may be something that on another site may be a big deal if there's a lot of slope. Like we had a one come before us tonight where they're going to take down a house. It's on the lake. There's a lot of slope going all the way down to the lake. If that was to remain, if they were to continue the work and it was dormant for a period of time, then there may be an issue with something like that. So so just wanted. I just wanted, if you have a chance, just take a look at our conditions and the other two examples, and next meeting maybe we'll get into it a little bit more and discuss, and maybe we can see if there's anything that we want to change within ours. So wasn't expecting you to have read them for tonight's meeting.
So do we have a printout of like our normal special conditions?
I have an example of your conditions if you want to look at it. It's basically just under your special conditions, you have a list of 54 bullet points varying from anything, standard to every single project. There's stuff about erosion controls, there's stuff about inspections by the Commission for Erosion Controls. The main difference that I've seen with Sutton, and I kind of looked at Beverly over just quick today, they are doing more of, they have during construction and specific ones during construction,
right.
Post-construction,
right.
Certificate of compliance. So it's kind of just organized a little bit better, which I think is nice for those towns. Another thing that Sutton does in particular is pre-construction meetings as well. So I did stop by Martin Road just to look at the erosion controls, and some of them are broken, some of them are, starting to flatten out, and they don't look too good. So, if they started construction tomorrow, then those erosion controls are not up to par as they should be. So a pre-construction meeting is very helpful. There's a sign-in sheet that Sutton does. I don't know how all the towns do it, but they have a sign-in sheet. You go over what's necessary to have on site. You need to have your order of conditions. You need to have your DEP file number hung up on the road. You inspect the erosion controls before it as well. So I think that's very beneficial in helping, like Mark was saying, prevent these things from happening when it goes awry on a site. Because you don't have any specific condition about pre-construction meetings. There is one, the contractor shall notify the commission immediately following erosion control installation and before groundbreaking to allow commission or its agent opportunity to inspect the erosion controls. So that's kind of the only
thing we have.
You have on that.
Can someone send us an email of that?
Absolutely, yeah.
And then we can just take and see what we have and see what the others, and then.
Yeah.
Is there an official, procedure we have to follow if we do want to change anything? Like the suggestion you're making, if we want to add it, do we have to do anything other than we all agree we want to add it?
You'd vote on it, and that's all you have to do.
Yeah, but we don't have to go to the state or anything like that?
No, because these are ours. The state has its own conditions, which are a part of every notice of intent, and they don't change. But ours, we can remove them, we can, change them.
So everyone has to bring banana bread to the pre-construction meeting.
With chocolate chips.
Yes.
Yes, Kate, absolutely. We can
include that. I think if we had 2 or 3 of us, we're good, Kate.
Yeah. And I mean, the point of it isn't necessarily to make it harder, it's just to actually make it so that it's a clearer path if there are, and more consistent.
Well, in fairness, everything evolves too. I mean, you figure out things as you're progressing, and you say that just isn't working now. We had good intentions when it was originally written, now you want to modify it. I think it makes perfect sense. Probably something we should review yearly, quite frankly, or every couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for bringing it up. 6 years is a while.
Yeah. All right.
I just want to know about the reorganization. I know we have alternate. I didn't know if we could have Kate not be an alternate, but we can still keep our quorum at 3, because our quorum's at technically 3 people in order to proceed forward.
Don't we have to have an odd number, though?
No.
Well, when you vote, you got to have an odd number.
No, you don't. Do you?
No.
No.
Well, then what do you do if you-
The board could be as big as it wants to be.
Yeah, but what if you have a tie? What if you have 3? I thought that was the whole point why Kate was a alternate, was because you had to have an odd number of people.
Yeah, well, it is typical for boards to be
This board
an
used to
odd
be
number.
7.
Absolutely.
Used to be 7-member board.
But you often have votes because someone's not here or whatever, so you often
Yeah.
have votes that are with an even number of people, so. But I don't think it's a good precedent to have the number of people on the board, voting number, be an even number. That's probably not a good precedent.
Okay.
I agree, though. I mean, Kate does show up all the time, and her opinion is, I think, important.
Yeah, it's
So I'm
valuable.
not saying she shouldn't be able to vote. I'm just saying, I think an even number is a bad idea to go down that path.
Maybe she's scared off Betancourt, the guy with the fire road. I mean, she's the one that found the issue of, he was on somebody else's property, so.
Very true.
So. But, I don't know, we could expand the committee to 7 and look for another
That's
person.
exactly right, which is what it used to be.
It was 7 for a long time.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yep.
So we could
Food for
make
thought.
Kate a full-time member and look for another person, have an
In
open.
the meantime, every one of us skips a meeting. We just alternate.
We get-
Yeah, I'm up for reappointment from the selectmen. I should have said no, huh? That way Kate could have been a member.
I need a little more training before that.
You're already in, Mark. You're locked in.
All right. Thanks for bringing that up. That's, I agree. I mean, I feel bad that you can't vote.
I mean, because she's here every single meeting.
Yeah.
I just feel bad if there are applicants and I'm not saying anything and everyone else is saying yes and I'm just like, no, I'm going to pass because I don't want them to think that I disagree with them if I do agree with them. But
Yeah.
it's okay. I enjoy the experience. Thank you, though.
Yep. You're welcome.
But I think how would we get a 7th person? We just have to find somebody that would volunteer?
Yeah, just tell the selectmen that we're looking for 7.
But then also get an applicant.
Yeah.
I mean, we already are looking for a 7th. Like at the town meeting, they listed, all the boards and the people that they need, and it said Conservation Commission, 1 person needed.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because there's 2 alternates.
Because there's 2 alternates.
Yes, okay. Yeah.
But I don't think they're looking very hard because it is an alternate.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know, can we take a vote to make Kate full-time or to expand the board to 7?
If someone wants to make a motion to vote to make her a full member or whatever, I guess
I wanted to double check with Brandon on it.
Yeah.
The
We
even,
can,
odd
how about
numbers,
we can hold that off until next meeting.
Okay.
You want to do that then, and we can double check?
I
and-
feel more comfortable.
I'm okay with that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I would add, though, that if we do wind up saying Kate, and let's just say it's an even number, regardless of Kate, whatever the name is, it's an even number, we probably just need to have whatever the plan B is in the event that it comes out with a tie, how we decide,
Coin toss.
whatever it is.
I don't know how well that would go over.
Well, 50% of us will be happy.
Yeah, I'll talk to Brandon.
Okay. Like, I don't want to, I'm not trying to, make it worse, but, she's always.
No, absolutely.
Right, Kate's given a lot of time, it's fair.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
Sorry. Cloud up the water.
Brings the banana bread.
Thanks for bringing that up. Anything else? Anyone have anything else they want to discuss or bring up?
I'll take it.
Pass this over to her.
Okay.
It was the 17-inch thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we just have the minutes.
Oh, yes, I do have that.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, since I wasn't here, I can't vote on these, right?
Yes.
If you watched,
Yeah.
I didn't.
then you can't.
Sorry.
Then no. Is there
Okay.
any corrections?
Yes. Item 1 just needs a comma after site inspection and like the last sentence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
What line-
6, the
what
sixth
li-
line
Okay.
of item
What
1.
line are you on? Which one?
April 7th.
I know.
Oh, number 1.
Paragraph 1, 2, 3.
Number 1, line 6.
Is that good enough if it's just you?
Ecosystems.
Okay.
Yep. And then item number 3, at 2435 TS, I'm just not sure what this is saying. So I remember the meeting, but I don't remember. So it's saying, with the conditions of having the footings no closer than 20 feet, the stair 20 feet from the high water mark. Is that just saying the conditions of having the footings no closer than, is it the footings of the stairs?
Yes,
Yes.
it was definitely the footing for the stair,
So add the foot.
or for the deck, not for
So,
this.
no, of having the footings of the deck no closer than 20 feet from the high water mark?
Yes.
And then.
Where are you? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. That was item number 3 at 2435. The second line there.
So that correction there would be that with the condition of having the footings no closer than 20 feet or the stair 20 feet from the high water mark, I believe.
Got it. So just adding the or.
I think that's,
I think
makes
so,
it
yeah.
make sense.
Perfect. And then the only other one was item number 4 on the second page, the third to last line. It's saying increase the replication, I think it should be area,
Yes.
in the front of the house. And I'm not sure if it's to a minimum of 2,500 square feet or increasing it by a minimum of.
I think it's supposed to be 250 square feet, right? Or am I off on that?
No.
No, it's 2,500?
It was 2, I believe it was 2, it was supposed to be 2,500 minimum. Like it
Okay.
needed to be 2,500 minimum.
Oh, yes.
Got it. So
Yeah,
not
so-
increasing it by, but
No,
increasing it
it needed
to.
to be at least that, yeah.
A minimum of 2,500 feet. Square feet.
So we have 2 changes.
Yep,
R should be area,
yep.
and then in the front of the house, to a minimum of 2,500 square feet.
Yeah. And then the only other thing I noticed, everything else looked good from my read-through, but the item number 5, it just looks like we didn't make a motion. I don't know if we need to do anything about that.
Do you have to make a motion if the person requested to withdraw it? So Edward McLean, 34 Grove Street, requested
Yeah,
to
'cause we-
withdraw the RDA.
I guess you would want a motion to
We did
approve the withdrawal.
so we did a roll call vote,
Okay.
but
it
we
doesn't
didn't make
say-
a motion.
Yeah, I mean, it should
So-
probably be a motion to approve.
So that should say no motion made to withdraw the RDA, right? Because that's what you're saying, that we didn't seem to make, so no motion was made.
But we did a roll call vote.
I know. So then we put a period there, and so then I would say roll call, then just go to roll call vote.
Yeah, I feel like it was, someone was good with that approach. I remember that happening.
Yes.
I don't remember why.
Okay.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's just supposed to be an accurate notes from the meeting, so I don't want to change what we
Yeah.
did. If we didn't have a motion, we didn't have a motion. So we went, so no motion was made to withdraw the RDA, and then roll call vote, Jim Foran, Kate Thompson, Josiah Birch, Mark Mongemal, all in favor. That's what happened,
Okay. Yeah,
Everything else looks good, though.
all right.
Don't quote me on last name spelling. Okay.
You okay if I make a motion then for those corrections?
Sure.
All right, make a motion to approve Monday, April 7th, 2025, meeting notes with all the previous comments made by Kate and Mark to be fixed.
Motion made to approve the meeting minutes as amended. Those in, need a second.
I'll second it, but I wasn't present at
No,
that's what it
then
was.
Mike, Josiah, can you second?
Can someone second?
He's been seconding everything all night, so I didn't want to break the streak. Go ahead,
Need a
Mike.
second?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Second.
Okay.
All right, motion's made, seconded. Roll call vote.
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
You can't vote, you weren't
Oh,
here.
that's,
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Kate can vote.
I can,
Yeah.
Yeah, you were here.
but, Kate
Yeah.
Thompson, I
Yeah.
Mark Mongemal.
didn't think I could.
Okay.
Do you need, like,
I was out
I feel
here.
like half the time I'm
it to
just
Jen.
wondering if I can.
You
Can I
better
have
not
the
just
black
voting.
pen
What's
since
the
you
worst
stole
thing?
my blue
No.
pen?
You want someone not
I
to
don't care.
you full time. You know?
Does anyone else need to sign that blue folder?
Sorry, yes. I need a couple signatures still on the first two ones.
I think that's it. Is it really?
Is that it? Anyone else have anything? It's 8:15, we're past 7 o'clock, Kate.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's all right, though.
Well, make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Motion's been made by Josiah and seconded by Jim to
I almost forgot my name.
close, I did. Close the public hearing, not public hearing, close the meeting. All those in favor?
Jim Foran, aye.
Brendan Doyle, aye.
Mike Greco, aye.
Josiah Birch, aye.
Mark Mongemal.